Okay, Chapter 2 helps you learn how to create your own tables and to create your own forms. Most of the databases, well, all the databases so far that you've worked with have been databases on the student data files. I just want to show you real quick for review 1, of course, we will use this student data file. But if I come down and open Access, when you first open Access, if you're going to create your own Access file, this is what it's going to look like. We'll click on blank database, similar to how we click on blank workbook for an Excel file or blank document for a Word file. But right away, Access is asking you to give your file a file name. So here is, for example, if you were getting ready for your Access test, which you will start from a blank file, you can type the file name. Once we click create, it's going to create the file. So right now here it's showing that it would be saving in my documents folder. So here's where I can click on my folder and choose where to save it. Maybe I want to put it back into my folder that I have all my Access homework in so that I know where all my Access homework is. And then I can say OK, and then I would click create. And this is what it looks like when we're creating a new file. It automatically opens so that you can create a table right here. We're not going to create our table in Datasheet view. That's what this area is called. So you have a couple of choices. You can just close this, go back to the home ribbon, and choose, go to the create ribbon. And we can go right to table design. And you can start creating your table right from table design. I'm going to close this for a second. If we went to the Create tab and we just clicked on Table, it brings us kind of back to that same place. And we can switch to Design View, the same place that when we just opened up the file. We can switch to Design View down here in the bottom right corner. And the only difference here is that it's going to ask you to name your table before you switch to Design View. I'm going to close that and close this. So create, by clicking on table design, you won't save and name your file until you have entered all your field names and data types and things like that. And then you would go ahead and you can click on the floppy disk icon up here. You could even just try to close it and it will ask you if you want to name and save it. So that's just a little introduction to opening up Access and starting from a blank Access file. Otherwise, most of your homework is dealing with objects over here that have already been created for you and you are just manipulating them. So I'm going to close this. And so for review 1 on Chapter 2, again, enable contents. I need to do a save so that I can create things in my and enable one more time. So here we have a database file showing 3 tables and 3 forms. And the first review is actually asking us to create our own table. So we're going to do it in Design View. I'm going to choose the Create tab and Table Design. The first field name is product number. And the data type is going to be number. The next field name is event, and the data type is short text. And if I was creating this table based on the events, I would have a pretty good guess about how many characters would be in the event names, and probably not 255. So here is where you can come and update this. And I think for review 2, I ask you to change some field sizes and we can practice that. And the third field name is discount, and I'm hitting my tab key to move over. And this one's going to be currency. And I'm actually typing the first name of these field types, and they come up easily. We are going to make the product number field the primary key, so I will click up here next to the product number, and again, the primary key is an on-off, so I click on it once. Now it's on, and we can see that our key is here, meaning that we will not be able to have two product numbers that are the same. They will all need to be unique from each other. We can save our table now. I'm going to come up to the floppy disk icon, and we are going to save it as events. And then we can close it. If you want to see what it looks like, we can always come down to the right corner and switch to datasheet view. And if you wanted to start entering records right here, you absolutely could. But they're going to have us create a form right from this table. So we're going to close this. Remember, we only want to work with one object in our window over here at a time. One easy way to create a form based on one table is to click on that table. We're going to choose the Create tab, and we're just going to click right here on Form. Boom, and it gives us our form. I'm coming down here to the right-hand corner, and here we have three choices. Form View, which is where you would enter records. Layout View, which is what we're in right now, and that allows us to make some changes. If I want to change the title, get rid of this icon here, shorten up these fields, I can do all of that in this view, this layout view, which is the view that pops up as soon as we create our form. The last one down here is design view, and we can also make those changes in design view too. We'll start with the layout view. And I think they have us, I think they have us just entering some records into our form. So I'm going to go to Datasheet View. And the first product number is 2018, and I'm just tabbing now. And since we made this field here currency, you just have to type in the number and it will automatically put the $sign in there. So you can see here, that's what it looks like. If I go back now to the first record, you can see that it changed it. Put in our second record. Again, I use my tab key to move through the different fields. I am going to type the 0.75 so that it doesn't come out to be $75. If I hit my enter key, it also pulls up a new blank record. So lots of ways to move through. Okay, now it asks us to close this form, so I'm going to close it. And do we want to save changes to the design? Yes. And we'll name it events table. I'm sorry, events form. It's going to be our events form. So now down here we have an events form and an events table. We have to have an events table first. We created our table. I'm going to come over here to design view. We assigned all the data types. You have to do this first. Then you can create a form to enter your records. Can we enter our records in the table? Absolutely. You can enter your records in the table also. Now it's asking us to open up the events table, copy a record. We're going to copy this first record. I'm going to click out here on the edge, right click, copy, come down here, right click, paste. Now, if I try to tab through, I should get a message saying that we can't do that because this product number has already been used. But I think they're going to have us update the product number to 2015. And I'm going to hit my escape key to get out of that madness. And I will paste one more time. Copy, paste, and then right here, I will update that record, tab through, and everything is good. We're going to adjust our fields over here. Just like Excel, we can come in between the two fields and double click so that everything is auto fit and easy to read.